Before we head on into the new year, I've been reviewing some of my favorite books from the past year that I've read. Now, I've recently gone ahead and reread one of my favorite books called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. If you haven't read this book before, it is fantastic. And I was thinking to myself, what can I do in the new year to steal? To steal everything. To steal video ideas, to steal user interface ideas, to steal business, to steal everything. Because if you've ever read this book before, you would know that one of the points that it hammers home the most is that nothing is original. There are no original ideas anymore. Maybe there were 1,000 years ago, but there aren't today. Every individual piece of original content has some sort of inspiration, derivative from anywhere. It could be from music, TV, doesn't matter. The point is, how can we apply this logic of stealing everything to the new ideas that we create to allow us to be more creative? So today, as a nice start to the new year, I'm going to show you exactly how I steal like an artist for user interface designs. Specifically, when I'm trying to get inspired, what are the tips and tricks that I use to personally make kick-ass user interface designs that are not just original and drawn up by me, but actually inspired by some of the best in the business. Let me show you. Now, when it comes to stealing ideas, I like to go where the ideas are available to be stolen. So this is Dribbble. This is a website that I regularly come to discover the world's top designers, explore work from the most talented and accomplished designers ready to take on your next project. So literally, I have any idea for something, I'm like, oh, I want to do like a habits tracker app, something like that. I literally just go in and I find it, and I look for literally what I'm looking for. So we've got user interfaces here. Welcome to the habits tracker. Hi, Mark. Great, your daily plan is almost done. Plan for the day. And let's say I see a snippet I want. There's like, oh, okay, plan for the day, drink the water. I can start to think in my brain, how exactly could I steal it? To be perfectly honest with you, there's a couple ways we could do it. First of all, I could literally just take this and I can just go and build it myself. I could take that and I see this particular snippet here, and I think to myself, you know what? I want to take that and I'll replicate it in code. But you know what's even better than replicating it in code? Giving it to AI and letting it create kind of the foundation for you. So in this case, this is all slanted and sideways, so I won't use this as the example. But there's tons of different ways that you can actually go through and literally just steal good user interfaces. Some of the best user interfaces I've ever designed for apps that I've built have been stolen. And not stolen in the sense that I literally took it, copy and pasted it, and stuck it into my application, but in a sense that I used it to inspire my design, inspire a clean user interface, to make the navigation simple. So there's tons of things on here, just even me searching up habits tracker app that we have for this. So this is Health Fitness Hub. As we can see here, it's talking about running, health tracking. This is what looks to be like a health tracking app. And as you can see here, there are tons of pieces of user interface design that I could steal. This high heart rate button I could steal. This little bar over here that has a drop down. All of it is user interface that is available to be stolen. But it doesn't just stop there. You can actually take these things and literally convert them. So let me find something that's just like a static image here, for example. These are all videos. Let me just find a static image. These are popular. I can also select by color too, if I want. So I can do that. And videos. There we go. I like this. So I want to steal it. So I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste this image in, and I'm going to say, I want to replicate the user interface from this image specifically. So the specific part of the user interface I want to steal here is this kind of thing right here that says veggie breakfast. It's a little list, it's a little checkbox. So we'll go back to ChatGPT and we'll say specifically the checkbox list. Recreate this in React with styled components and a functional component. And so I'll hit enter on that, and boom, instantly we're going to actually get the replicated user interface. So what it'll do is it'll pull all of the information out here, and just like that, boom, we've got our task list, we have the handle checkbox change, we have completed count, we have the container, we have the export, we have the entire component of this. It's probably not going to look as good as this does, but at least we have the very basic fundamentals of how to actually copy it and steal it. So I look at that and I go, oh, that's nice. Okay, now we probably, if we actually took this and put it into code, would see that it's kind of terrible. It's probably not very good. It's probably not very nice looking. But then here's a trick that I actually like to use to level up the way the user interface actually looks. So I've got that now. It looks great, or great on paper, and then once you actually put this in, it probably doesn't look so great. But now I'm going to say something that'll change things up a little bit. I'll say, great. Now redesign this as if you were a user interface designer at blank. So what I love to do when it comes to stealing is not just stealing the components, but stealing the design of a website that I like. So Apple, I really like stealing Apple's design. So I look at this and I go, oh, you know, very clean website, very simple. I like it. I want to steal it. I want this design. So I'll go back to ChatGPT and I'll say, as you were an user interface designer at Apple. And so I'll put that in here now. And so now what we're going to get is that this basic component, which probably doesn't really look very good on paper, is now going to be redesigned as if it was somebody at Apple. So what we're going to see here is it's going to add linear gradients in the background. It's going to do specific font styles from Apple. It's going to put in hover transformations and box shadows. And it's going to add appearances, you know, transitions in the way that the things are going when they're appearing, etc., before and after. Now we've taken this boring, plain, old, simple component that, you know, looked very good on here, but we just really copied the bare bones skeleton of it. And now we've got a pretty good looking version of that designed by someone at Apple by using the specific design components that people at Apple typically use. So now we have a component which isn't going to be identical to this, but at the very least is going to be so much nicer than if I just tried to do this completely from scratch on my own. So as we can see here, we've got our components, we've got title, etc. And now we've got it actually looking very nice. Now, why is it by somebody at Apple? Well, key features of the Apple-inspired design. The typography system, it uses system fonts to align with Apple's design, color palette, rounded elements, dynamic feedback, and accessibility. And then I can make my adjustments to the code if I want to. But now let's say I want to steal it even further. Let's say I like this, you know, veggie breakfast, read books, caffeine-free, morning workout. I can say, how can I take the design you've done and apply it to any future components I create? And if I put that in there, what it's going to actually do is it's going to take the specific design elements that, again, we're stealing, because we are stealing like an artist here, and it's going to actually go and create a design system for us for any future components we could potentially want to build. So now we've got a preliminary design system. We have our colors for background, card background, text primary, success, border. We have our spacing, we have our fonts, border radius, etc. And then we can wrap the entire app with our style components using this theme provider to make this theme accessible to all of our components by passing that theme in as a prop. And just like that, we've got already a pretty solid design, but it takes it a step further because we can actually create global styles so that no matter what components we actually end up creating, we can apply those pretty nice looking design styles to anything and use it directly within our app. And then taking it one step further, we can then create reusable style components. This is my favorite thing, of course. If you're a skilled developer, you would know that you don't create a new button every time you need to create a button. You create one button that is slightly customizable so that you can make it different each time. It'll save you a massive amount of time coding, just for any beginner developers out there, creating those reusable style components. And now we have a button designed by somebody at Apple. We have a card designed by somebody at Apple. We have a heading, we have a paragraph, and we're actually using the styled system. And now it'll actually teach you how to apply the design system to future components. We've got our modal overlay, we've got our modal content, modal button, etc. And so now, in just a few quick minutes, I've taken a design style that I like on here. I've been able to copy it directly from here, copy the bare bones and how the way it's laid out, use that to create a design system that I can use for future components based on a company that I like. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. So, just wanted to make this little video. If that's not cool, I don't know what is. So remember, as you're heading into the new year, steal like an artist. Steal like an artist. Nothing is original. You can take inspiration from anywhere. As long as you're not literally copying an entire brand, which obviously you wouldn't do, but as long as you're not just copy and pasting, there is so much inspiration and good design to be taken, to be used for any future applications that you do in the future. And I know that if you apply these same techniques that I use, you, like me, are going to have a fun time stealing like an artist. So happy 2025, everyone. I hope you achieve whatever crazy goals you set for yourself this year, and I'm looking forward to making more videos like this in the future.